What's going on, y'all? Self-Out Junction. It's your boy Sherm. I'm here. Very special guest today. Today we got Aundre Raashad in the building. How you feeling, brother?
I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. It's a blessing to be here, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. For those who don't know you, man, can you introduce yourself? Let us know who you are, what you do.
Yes, sir. So my name is Aundre Raashad. I am a recording artist, but I am more so just I'm a musician. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in church, playing the keys, playing the drums. Taught myself how to engineer because I wanted to get into music at a young age. So I think I'm most known for my music, but if you get on my Instagram, you're gonna see more health content than music because I really got a passion for health, for farming and gardening and stuff like that.
Okay.
So depending on what you're looking into, but yes, sir.
Okay, that's dope.
Yes, sir.
Now, what got you into one, music, and then two, into the gardening and all that stuff? Because that's an interesting field to be in. You know what I'm saying? Like the self-preservation, all that stuff. So let's talk a little bit about all that.
Bet we can get into it. Well, first I got to tell you, y'all gonna see, but Sherm's studio setup is crazy. I've been talking about it since I got here. The all white is going crazy with the 75 Junction sign, and he got it like.
I need to get a stand for that joint, bro.
You need a stand, bro, because you need a window and a stand. So when they see the sign, it look like old school FNS on 27th Street.
Oh yeah, like on air or something.
Yeah,
or,
like facts. Yeah, like 100%. So, but anyway, to answer your question, bro, because the studio is ridiculous. I got into music as a child, growing up in church. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the section leaders for the choir now in my church. I'm the sound guy. I'm the drummer. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
My father was into the word. My mom was into the word, and they always was like, "Look, you're gonna do something in church. You're gonna be active." It just so happened that my grandfather was a musician in church. He was a bass player. He was a drummer. So he was a bass player, piano player.
Okay.
I was the only drummer in the family, but being around music so much, I just was immersed into it as a child. So children's choir all the way up to now, just always been singing in church. So that's really how I got into it, and my family kind of wanted me to go to medical school or get my degree first before I really did my own thing with music.
Right.
They was like, all of us have done music, so we really want you to like get your degree and get your education first. So that's why I didn't actually release my own music until I graduated college. Because I was like, bet the deal I made was I'll get my degree. I was the second male in my family to ever do that, so I'll get my degree, and then after I get my degree, I gotta drop this fire on your head top.
Okay. And you went to Norfolk State, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Behold the green and gold.
Green
I like
and gold, bro. You all know what time it is.
Okay. Dope. Okay. So, and you went the drummer route with the music. So why did you, not navigate, but why did you gravitate towards the drum as opposed to, the piano or something else?
Honestly, bro, and I'm about to be real transparent. My grandfather was the greatest bass guitar player I ever laid eyes on. Lead and bass. That man make it talk, play it with his teeth, his knees, his toes. He'd go crazy with it. But he never was active enough to actually teach it to me. He was going through his own little situation, you know what I'm saying? And of course we made peace with it before he passed away, but he wasn't active enough to the point where he taught me. Yeah. So there was a little bit of resentment, but there was a little bit of longing I didn't want people in the family to ever compare me to him. Because he was so good. I was like, how could I learn that and ever live up to him if he never taught me? So even as a child, I made the decision, was like, I got to do my own thing so nobody ever compare me. I chose drums. And looking back, it probably was a decision out of fear, but it was a great decision because I think drumming has opened a lot of doors for me that I never would have thought it would have opened. So I chose drums, and then I just happened to learn piano because, as you know, being a producer, working in the studio, engineering,
you're always touching keys.
Yeah. You got to learn keys. So I can't technically read music, which is weird because I engineer, but I can play enough to make music. So.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays you can get away with not being able to read music because everything is just digitized. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And that's the I ain't gonna lie, old school musicians in church, it's funny when you talk to them because they get upset with you. As soon as you hit that transpose button, they're like, you can't play it in a different key. I'm like, nah, I didn't learn it. They're like, don't hit that transpose button. I'm like, we're not gonna get through the song if I don't hit this transpose button. But that's what I'm saying. But I am gonna take piano lessons. Shout out to Baruch at the church. He teaching me. Because
that's dope.
That does make a difference. If you want to be a big time musician, you know what I'm saying, intricate detail type thing.
For sure.
But if you, like you said, if you just getting by, you don't need to learn how to read music, which is a blessing. It's like you said, everything is so digitized, bro.
Yeah.
Everything is digitized.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like kind of what route you want to take. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
if like some people are cool doing that. Some people, like you said, the old school people are like, oh no, that's not real music because you're not playing the instrument. You know what I'm saying?
Playing the instrument, it ain't real music. And I get what y'all saying. I respect it. There's a certain level of authenticity that comes with instrumentation.
Facts.
And that's why if you listen to my music, everything real guitars, a lot of stuff, all those drum sounds was me playing that. Got a digital drum set. I played it. You know what I'm saying? And because I respect the authenticity side of it. But like you said, I can't take away from the talent of some of these young guys who just know how to work this digital game. Like the producer's more talented than the artist.
Yeah, no.
Keep it a million.
Nah, 100%, bro, because I feel like a lot of people will much rather listen to a dope beat, you know what I'm saying, than the lyrics, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even listen to the lyrics no more.
They don't. And no disrespect to a lot of the younger artists, but everybody got the same subject matter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the producers are what's grabbing people's attention most of the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I guess that kind of, ties into you too. Like, how do you feel like, being true to yourself ties into music? A lot of people will try to fit this narrative or play this facade as to who they are, who they want to be per se.
Absolutely. And to answer your question, bro, and forgive me, I'm probably gonna quote 1,000 scriptures tonight, bro.
No, you good.
Because that's where I draw my source of inspiration. And, Mark 8:38, it says, "What does it profit a man to gain this whole world and lose his soul?" So for me, the authenticity is that important. I feel like if I was to ever compromise who I was just for streams or just for record sales, the acclaim would come, the status might come, but I wouldn't be happy deep down.
Right, because you didn't do it your way.
I didn't do it my way.
Yeah.
And then what did it profit me to gain the world but lose my soul? It didn't profit me anything. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's how I stick to my subject matter, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, for sure. No, that definitely tied it all together really well. Yeah.
You, bro.
Very well spoken, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
For sure.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when it comes to the farming part of the house, man, the green thumb.
Yeah.
How'd you get into that? Where did that come from?
So, extensive history with health issues in my family.
Okay.
My father, ironically enough, my father grew up on a farm in West Point. I drive up there about once a month to check on my family and help out there. But so that I kind of got the green thumb, honestly. But a lot of health issues. Lost my father young, brain tumor.
Damn.
Lost my grandfather within 3 years, bro. We probably lost 2 aunts, my father, my grandfather, and my uncle. His wasn't a health issue; he was murdered. But it was so much health issues and death around me. I was like, I gotta do something. So my sister was my biggest motivation because she has cystic fibrosis. It's a terminal illness. And I was like, I want to get into health. So I got into health when I was in school. I got so many training certifications, so many nutrition certifications. Shout out to Dr. Truman Burrs, master herbalist. I trained under him. Shout out to Dr. John Bergman in California. He probably gonna see this. I'm gonna send it to him. He's a chiropractic neurologist in California, greatest doctor in the world. I really made it my mission when I was in college to learn about the body and the nervous system because I wanted to help break these generational curses of health in my family. So when I learned about nutrition, for me, it was only right to grow it because I'm going through hell in grocery stores trying to find organic stuff.
Yeah.
And it's expensive.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna be buying organic meats and sprouted grains and all this other stuff, I can grow the organic vegetables myself, get some fruit trees, do all this stuff. So it just came through practice. And shout out to my sister, she was a big part of that. And me and her just got together and said we're gonna do something different. So that's how I started. And then of course I made it my own thing.
Right.
And Instagram kind of took hold to it. Like it was crazy, bro. I didn't realize how many people actually mess with gardening. I had a decent amount of followers, but bro, people think the majority of my followers came from music. No, it came from gardening, bro. I get more DMs during the week about health than ever about music, which is crazy. Like I get a lot of people who ask about the music, but bro, the majority of people I speak to is about health and music, health and gardening. It's not about music.
Okay. Now, quick question on that. Did that kind of shift your focus as far as like, okay, like yeah, I'm getting more attention on the gardening stuff, so maybe I'll kind of transform the content to kind of cater towards that because there's possibly monetization opportunity here and things like that. Like did that kind of shift your focus? Like for example, I don't mean to make this a long-winded question, but like my reaction channel blew up opposed to the podcast, so I focused more time and effort on that
than the podcast,
opposed to the podcast, which I'm still passionate about, but I still gotta get the bag right so I can fund everything else.
That's wisdom. I actually said this in my song "Successful or Not." I was like, I fund my own dreams. So no, there's wisdom. You got to go where the money at sometimes.
Right.
And to answer your question, that wasn't my thinking at first, but I adopted that thinking. So what happened was, when I first, I got 3 training. I got a NASM certification for just regular training. I got a corrective exercise specialist certification for corrective exercise. I got the nutrition coach certification. Then I went back and got a brain health certification because I was like, I wanted the whole entire body. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And kind of see the body as a holistic thing, not a allopathic medicine. Don't get me started on Big Pharma, bro. So they're gonna cancel your podcast. So I'm gonna say some wild stuff.
I got a question about that though. So like with the big pharmacy versus the naturopathic. Did I say it right? Naturopathic. Okay.
Yeah, naturopathic
versus naturopathic methodologies. Like, do you feel like there are some ailments or some medications that are actually beneficial opposed to?
So I think allopathic I think the allopathic mindset or the modern medical system, they're great in trauma situations. They have saved so many lives in anaphylactic, traumatic situations, bro. Like if I get bit by a snake, I'm not gonna run to the master herbalist like I got bit by the snake. I might run straight to the emergency room, get this venom out, do whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Give me some monoclonal antibodies. And then I'm gonna go to the naturopathic doctor, like, all right, now I got that dealt with. Let me heal the proper way. But or if I get shot, I'm not gonna run to the chiropractor, like, adjust me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just move my spleen over a little bit.
Word. Now, after I get the bullet out in the surgery, I'm gonna go to the chiropractor for holistic health.
Right.
Because they're nervous system doctors. You know what I'm saying? So I said all that to say, it's not complete disrespect to the allopathic or modern medical mindset because they have their place. But I think the biggest mistake we made, and I think money has kind of driven this, money, power, greed, control, it's kind of more so like conspiratory, but the powers that be.
I mean, no, that is factual. It's not a conspiracy.
No,
yeah, money does drive everything in the world.
It's facts. But you know, I say powers that be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you do the history, you see that the Rockefellers took over the pharmaceuticals in the 1800s. And you kind of see from that point on, the holistic mindset of doctors kind of shift. You had a lot of osteopaths back then who were medical doctors, but they were more so healers too. They was the best of both worlds. You don't even see that no more because now everybody has the medical mindset. So I think what happens is now we lost balance. So for every single situation, if I got a common cold, if I got an ear infection, that's something I need to go to the naturopathic medicine doctor for, or I need to go to the chiropractor for. But instead, I'm going to the emergency room for that, and that's not the case because you know what happens. And I tell people all the time: do healthy people need medicine? No. Do sick people need medicine? Possibly so. But what happens if you give a healthy person medicine, they get sick? So it's like when you look at the overall outlook of health, I think, like Solomon said in scripture, everything has a time and place. And that's why, to answer your question, I think the modern medical system has its place. I don't think its place is as large as it is, though. I think it should be much smaller than it is. I'm talking about tremendously smaller. If that makes sense.
Because a lot of times we get ailments and then they just throw pills at it. And
they just throw pills at it.
You know what I'm saying?
And now I got another ailment for the pill and another ailment for that. And then now I got restless leg syndrome because the heart medicine gave me that, but I never had, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, why am I dealing with all that? I came in here for a cough. And 3 years later, I got a heart condition. You know what I'm saying? So that's the result. For that.
Sick people would definitely keep the pharmacies in business. That's for sure.
Bro, I'm telling you. Look at the companies who make these medications and vaccines. If you get injured from a medication, you get injured from a vaccine, what's the result for that? Another medication or another inoculation. It's a circular motion, bro. It's a circular motion. Like when a lot of people, the 9 times out of 10, when you meet people who healed from crazy sicknesses, like, or I'll use my own example. I had a vocal polyp in my throat when I was singing at a wedding, and blood vessel burst in my throat. And I couldn't talk for like 90 days. It was terrible. I was a mute. It was funny because I still have this app on my phone called Text to Talk where I couldn't speak. I was texting everything. And it was people, I guess people thought I was deaf too. They were trying to text me back. I said, no, I can hear you. I just can't talk. but said all that to say they wanted to do surgery, but I healed that naturally. But I did that through a lifestyle change. I went on a raw food diet. I got chiropractic adjustments, herbal teas every day. I started juicing, started blending. And within 90 days, the vocal polyp it was gone. And the doctor was like, I thought Dr. Senecory, shout out to him, Norfolk Centera, he was like, I thought we just got to do laser surgery. He was like, in 20 years of me doing this, you're the first person I've ever seen heal a polyp naturally. And I was like, well, the body is amazing. If the body built a polyp, the body can tear it down. We just don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I said all that to say, I think that's the mindset that people have when you see people who have stage 4 cancer and they beat it. You don't usually see people say, well, I went through all the treatments and all this other stuff. You see people say, I made a lifestyle change.
Right.
I beat stage 4 cancer because I changed everything about my life. I eliminated the chemical stresses. I eliminated the mental stresses and the physical stresses. And then I aided my immune system in healing me. Gave all praise to the Most High. Now I'm healed. Type situation.
Right.
Type situation.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few testimonials where people will say that they were able to reverse their cancer due to juicing, making these holistic changes and things like that. Bro. So, yeah, I mean, obviously the what's the word I'm looking for? The statistics or the analytics are not 100% there because it's not like we said, the sick people keep big pharmacy in business and things like that. So obviously those are not going to be readily published and readily documented as is. Facts. So
it's not something like you said, it's not something that's readily documented. Because for example, when you look at a a double-blind placebo study that's done by the National Institute of Health. Or you look at some of Dr. Sebi's clients. That stuff wasn't being documented. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all those people he helped heal from cancer, they weren't part of a study. Those things were the CDC don't got that on file.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So so when you look up those studies, you're not gonna find those things unless you go to Scholar Google. You might find some articles about them. Scholar Google is the plug, by the way. If you're doing research papers of any type, go to Scholar Google. It's the wave. But
what is Scholar Google? Is that like literally like you Google Scholar Google?
Yeah.
And it's like a website.
Yep. So Scholar Google is a search engine, but it pulls up everything that would be approved in the research. So it's like it'll pull up research articles, papers, documentaries, books, anything that's a credible research source. Go to Scholar Google and you Google it like you're working on Google.
Oh, okay, dope.
Yeah.
So I mean, I gotta guess that's pretty good for sites sorted.
Yeah.
Sites sorted. Sources cited.
There we go.
I don't know why I was tripping. Sources cited. When you type in papers and stuff like that.
I was with you 100%. 100%.
Yeah. So makes that easier.
I use Scholar Google for all my bibliographies. This is so I probably shouldn't put this out here, but I'm putting this out here. Cheat code. If you're in college and you're writing papers, I used to work at the writing center in Norfolk State. I used to write papers for like hundreds of people and just get paid on the side for it. Go to Wikipedia.
Side hustle.
Side hustle. Go to Wikipedia, right? Go to Wikipedia. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Wikipedia is a public site, so they have to cite their sources. They naturally cite them in MLA format or APA format.
Yeah.
Look at which one it is. Copy and paste all those sources to your bibliography. You have your sources. Bro, I've done that so many times.
Okay.
I made it through every bibliography engine. No issues. No issues. Now, I would only do that for papers in school. If you actually in college and you writing your thesis paper, go to Scholar Google. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, facts.
Like if you about to get your master's or your doctorate level stuff, go to Scholar Google. But
you actually need to know that. So
if this is just a regular paper for class, get them sources off Wikipedia. Save yourself some time.
yeah,
I'm
for
telling
sure.
you, bro.
So you seem like a I don't want to say outspoken, but you definitely speak your mind and what you feel. So when it comes to college, do you feel like college has kind of become a scam as far as like being pushed to the youth and this our generation especially, like, you have to go to college, you have to get your degree to get the good job, you know what I'm saying, like, which isn't true. I don't even have a degree. Well, I have an associate's degree, excuse me, but that's with the Air Force. That's like a gimme degree.
100%.
Basically.
I mean, but think about it, like you said, you don't have a degree and you're doing your thing right now. You got the big Lexus. You feel me? Not even the
big body Lex.
The big body Lex. You feel me?
Yeah.
You got I walked by and I said, damn. But no, for real, bro. To answer your question, college is a scam.
Yeah.
And specifically, it's the biggest scam in the black community ever.
Right.
Because when you look at so in my song Student Loans, I talked about it when I my verse about Black Wall Street.
I remember listening to that one. Yep.
Yeah, on Black, when I was like a protest against the system, I've been yelling, learn to trade, but the folks won't listen. How you trying to find a job when your skills is missing? They teaching financial freedom, but the foundation missing. And what I was explaining was, when you go back to Black Wall Street in 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yep.
Black Wall Street was built off of nothing but trades. All of those black men were black men who had trades, and they was passing these trade companies down to their sons, their grandsons, and all these things. That's how you make millionaires. That's how you make generational wealth.
Right.
None of these men had bachelor's degrees, and what I have I got a bachelor's in science. I can't pass that down to my son. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I owe $50,000 because of that. I can't do much with that, but put it on my job application resume. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Just say I got a piece of paper.
I got a piece of paper. What is that really doing? And I think that was the scam. Because you had, and I'm not trying to make it a polarized race war, but because you had these successful white businessmen who had all these degrees, when their fathers had trades, you had they came to the black community and they said, you know what? Take these trades away from y'all. We're gonna give y'all something better. We can give y'all the American dream. We're gonna give y'all these degrees. But I think the reality is, all of us weren't meant to have a degree. Of course, some of us are meant to be doctors and lawyers.
Yeah, those degrees.
You need a degree for that.
You do need a degree because you actually learn your job in those degrees.
Exactly.
Yeah, so for sure.
And I will say, in some states like Virginia, you can take the bar without a law degree though. But I still recommend you go to law school. You need to learn the law, like you said.
Yeah.
But like you said, in some professions, go get a degree. You want to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that? Go get a psychologist. Go get a degree.
Yeah.
But in a lot of these situations, you didn't need a degree. You needed a trade.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us leave college and come out doing trade jobs anyway. Because all of us can't be psychologists.
That's what I be telling people, bro. Because like I So the trade field I got to was IT. You know what I'm saying? I tell all my people,
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Trade, bro.
It's an important trade because it's always growing, it's always advancing, and it's always gonna be around. So I'm gonna get more advanced. It's always gonna need people to maintain it and to work on it. So IT is a booming field to get into. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is going the
Big
digital route.
Taking over, word.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I tell all my friends, like literally, bro, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 friends that I all told to do IT. They ain't listening first. No knock to them. You know what I'm saying? They ain't listening first. But I told them, I was like, go to IT. You know, get your Security Plus certification so you can get your foot in the door.
My brother doing that right now.
Yeah,
shout out to Silky Johnson. Shout out to Silky Johnson.
So they finally got the Security Plus certification. All them working IT now. All them making more money than they was ever making before. And I was like, look, bro, I was trying to give y'all the keys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? 6, 7 years ago. But it's cool. Better late than never. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of them. I'm happy for them. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna help them out in the future and their families. You know what I'm saying? So definitely getting those trade routes, man. IT is booming.
IT is the way, bro. And even when you look at Elon, like I was joking about Elon Musk, when billionaires start talking, listen to them, not because they know everything, but because a lot of billionaires are around the people who make decisions for society. So they're in a lot of meeting rooms that ain't gonna be televised, and they talk like it. You know, like they always talk like they got a secret. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, talking in riddles and shit.
Somebody asked Elon a question, he like, well, you know. Like, bro, you ain't do all that.
Right, you sitting there thinking about how he should say it. I'm like, bro, like, come on, man.
But the reason they do that is because they thinking about with New World Order, like I said, powers that be. They think about what they heard in that meeting and how can they filter that down to answer this question. But when you listen to Elon talk, he talks about how within the next 5 years, over 30% of jobs that once were men or women are now going to be machine.
Yeah.
And he said the only way that men and women will still have these jobs is if they operate these machines through IT.
Exactly.
So it's like, we got to get into it, but that's a trade. That's something else we could use to build.
Right.
That's like, I can build that company and pass that down to my son. You know what I'm saying? So, or my daughter. But
yeah, exactly.
100%,
exactly.
bro.
Okay, that's dope. Yeah. Now I'm gonna circle back to the to the gardening aspect. So with the gardening, what herbs would you recommend? Like what herbs or what fruits that aren't maybe the most common would you recommend to people? That are like essential in your opinion for a healthy, balanced diet?
Essential for a healthy diet. I would say, well, you know, I always say eat the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? And not even on the funny stuff, like phytonutrients, right? I gotta clarify. It's 2022. You feel me? But we gonna go past it though. You feel me?
When you said that, then it clicked.
Then it clicked. Yeah, oh shit.
I was like, pause. So I had to pause and back my mind go off.
So 2022. Anyway, the way phytonutrients work, right? Vegetables and fruits have these things called bioflavonoids, and what it is basically available nutrients that they get based upon their own immune system. That's the way I explain it. The color that fruits and vegetables get comes from the bacteria they get from their natural environment. That's what a phytonutrient is. Okay. So I tell people all the time, you want to eat the rainbow and get every color in your diet possible because every color has a different mineral or nutrient that you can get. Now, a lot of them cross over. Like all green leafy vegetables most likely going to give you magnesium. But some of those things are more readily available for absorption depending on what you get it from. You know what I'm saying? Like fig leaves are full of magnesium. And you can drink fig leaf tea. That's a little bit easier to absorb than kale. Kale is a cruciferous vegetable. It's full of magnesium, but it's harder to absorb for some people with gut issues. So it's like when you, ironically enough, kale will help with gut issues though. But settle that to say, I would say look at your area, look at the area you live in, and find out what colors of what things can grow in that area with no problem. So like in Virginia, I would say giant winter spinach. I would say spinach, kale, Swiss chard, apples for sure, figs, absolutely. Peppers all the way. Peppers are full of vitamin C. There's nothing in this world outside of, not even oranges.
You're talking bell peppers, right?
Yeah, okay. All types of peppers, bro. The hotter the pepper, the more the vitamin C.
I like hot peppers, so.
Bro, I'm telling you, the hotter the pepper, the more the vitamin C. That's why it clears you out. Because what happens is there's this thing called a vitamin C flush where if somebody wants to flush their bowel, flush their system, they take 10,000 or more milligrams of vitamin C at once. And the body flushes itself out and it absorbs what it absorbs and the rest is water soluble. It flushes out. A lot of hot stuff like that will clear you out because it's full of vitamin C sometimes. Okay. But peppers are tremendous. I would grow all types of peppers. I grow everything from bell peppers, the banana peppers, the chili peppers, the shoshitos. I grow them all, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, cayenne, all of it, bro.
Hell yeah.
Word, dehydrate them and all. I should have bought you a pack, bro. I didn't think about that.
No, it's all good. No, I'll take the packs.
Next time we link, I'm gonna bring you some dehydrated peppers.
Okay, but yeah, no, that's fine. Like I said, bro, I love hot stuff, man. Like hot peppers, like all that stuff. Like I got, and it's probably obviously like not the same like natural process that you would go through, but there's a store in Williamsburg. It's in the Alice. It's called Pepper Palace.
Really?
Yeah, and they have all different varieties of hot sauces. They have like habanero ketchup. They have ghost pepper ketchup. They have jalapeno ketchup.
Oh, they going stupid.
Yeah, chipotle ketchup. So I got chipotle ketchup. I got habanero ketchup in the crib right now. Like that's why I keep stocked at all times.
100%. You got about a wine bottles
in the fridge. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's crazy, bro. Like it's really good. But yeah, I'm really big on hot foods, man. And then with the gardening thing, man, like. So my parents, they garden a lot. Like they had a garden in the backyard, so they would grow. To them. Yeah, for sure, man. But you
learn so much.
Okay, you good. Yeah, it's crazy though, because they had my mom grew squash. She grew.
I was gonna name that next.
Yeah, she had squash. She had watermelon. She had basil, parsley, excuse me. Mint.
I grow all that, bro. You have to.
Carrots, cucumbers, tomatoes.
And think
it's
about
a lot.
Think about the stuff that you're naming, all different colors. You got yellow squash, white squash.
Yeah.
So you got the cucumbers, the tomatoes, different colors. You got the carrots, different colors. And that's what I'm saying, bro.
Very true.
It's a balanced diet. It's a very balanced diet.
Hell yeah, bro. But I say that to say I ain't never seen some creatures that I seen until they start gardening. Bro, like there's bugs out there, and I want everybody to know this, bro. When you start gardening and you start growing stuff, you will find bugs you didn't even know existed in your region. Until you started gardening.
Bro, facts.
It's crazy, bro.
Bro, I faced off the other day against...
I was engaged in Mortal Kombat.
Bro, I'm going to show you the video, bro. I'm going to show you. Hold up, bro. Why you think I'm playing? Because you got to see it. The people ain't going to see it, but you going to see it. Look. Bro, I faced off against what's called a flat-footed bug or a flat-leaf bug.
Send it to me and I'll put it in the video.
Bro, I never once in the history of anything ever saw these. Ever. I've been gardening for like 6-7 years. Mm-hmm. And I walk up and these little niggas having a conversation on my tomatoes. And I'm like, yo, this don't even belong. Bro, look. What is that?
Oh, I have seen them joints before. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen them.
But I'm like, why y'all here?
Guess where I seen them though?
Where?
In my mom's garden.
In the garden. That's what I'm saying. Bro, it's so many bugs.
What plant was they by?
The cherry tomatoes.
Okay, yep. That's exactly where I saw them. Yeah, so
And that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm about to send it to you right now, bro.
Yeah, okay, bet. And you learn while you garden, like different things to plant around other things that will repel those insects. Yeah, like the hornworms or whatever they're called. I can't remember. But I think they like tomatoes too. I can't remember. But
they do. And I'm gonna tell you, there's certain I'm gonna tell you, you don't want all bugs out of your garden. A lot of people they grow stuff and then they don't have a big harvest. And they're like, yo, like people ask me all the time, like, Dre, how you get so much fruit and vegetables continually throughout the season? I'm like, because I keep pollinators. Ladybugs and beetles are great pollinators. Yeah. Bees, you know what I'm saying? Wasp, they sting you, but they're good pollinators. Now, the way to balance that out is...
Did they mess you up while you was gardening? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I got stung once or twice. But
is it because you got too close? Or they just like, nah, fuck you today. Like
I think they was wild. I don't know what it is. Like I try to get in their space because this is their realm, but at the same time, this is my garden too. Right. So it's like I need you to move out a little bit when I'm sliding by, and I got a dog too. So I the situation where I got stung was my dog was kind of wilding, and I kind of trying to get it away from her. Bro got offended and stung me. You know what I'm saying?
He said, how dare you try to touch me?
Word,
I got something for your ass.
I'm trying to pollinate. Word, because pollinators, they work with bees anyway. So they work. A lot of times they gonna mind their business and do their thing. But if you scared of bees and wasps, get ladybugs and beetles. They gonna pollinate. Dragonflies, fireflies, no, get fireflies. They will pollinate. And those are excellent. And they pretty too. Nice to look at nighttime. Right. If you have too many wasps and too many bees, get dragonflies because they eat wasps.
Really?
Yeah. I'm telling you, bro. That's how you balance it out.
Damn,
I got
know
a little ecosystem at the crib, bro.
Hey, I'm happy. I be having dragonflies outside the crib, so they keeping the population of the wasps down.
They do.
Say less.
100%, bro.
Say less.
And dragonflies don't bite us. And there's something in the dragonfly's immune system where the venom from a wasp won't kill them. I forgot what it's called, but if you Google it, you'll see. I forgot the name of it though. But it just shows that, and this, I guess, bring it back to the scriptures. This just goes to show that there had to be a creator, like an intelligent engineer, who thought of all this. Because
everything is just everything's so perfect. Yeah.
Everything is by design, bro. And that's why I tell people all the time, there's no way you can go outside and look in nature and not believe that the Most High didn't create it. You know what I'm saying? Like the Most High made it. He had to.
Yeah. Side note, did you see the sky earlier, bro?
Yeah, it was up.
Beautiful.
Word, bro.
I was like, yo, I ain't never seen it so vibrant before. Like, it was crazy.
It was crazy. And then I was mad at traffic, looked at the sky and was grateful.
Yeah. You got mad and instantly just like got happy. I was like,
oh, that's beautiful.
This is actually pretty nice.
I appreciate this right now. Yeah. Word, bro.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how the world works, man. It's crazy.
It's amazing, bro. But that's why I said, and I guess just to bring it full circle, that's why I got into gardening, because being into health, learning about the nervous system, I came to the conclusion that when you read the scriptures and you look at Adam and Eve, or you look at the garden, you have to imagine that if the Most High created Adam and Eve and he created a garden for them and he gave them edible things out of the garden, some of this GMO stuff that we have now, we was never designed to eat this stuff. Because although the food is genetically modified, we not. So
yeah,
we're not made to assimilate those nutrients. That's why we deal with chronic illness and disease, or dis-ease. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, just go back to the original diet we was meant to be on, which is just grass-fed organic meats, organic fruits and vegetables.
Okay, I was gonna ask if you was like vegan or anything like that.
So I've been vegan before, but not for long. I did veganism just to try it out, and just on certain fasts or certain diets. But I eat a plant-based diet, and what that means is about 75% of my diet is fruits and vegetables. But I do eat meat. I have one meal a day where I'll have like probably 3 grilled chicken breasts with some rice. Like the majority of my diet is some form of protein, rice, and vegetables. But I juice. So the way I sneak my vegetables in is like, nobody's gonna eat 9 apples in a day. But 9 apples will make like 17, 16 ounces of juice though. So if I drink, if in the morning, like I start my morning off with 32 ounces of fruit and vegetable juice. So I'll have maybe like 16 ounces of orange juice one day, 16 ounces of green juice, which is like mixed greens, celery, all types of greens. The next day I'll have 16 ounces of apple juice, another 16 ounces of green juice. The one juice that's consistent every day is green juice. The other stuff I rotate. Okay, gotcha. So I'll do it that way. And a lot of people are like, how you get so many like you get 8 servings of fruits and vegetables in one day? I'm like, bro, juice. That's the cheat code, or blend. If you don't want a juice, get a smoothie. Right. Now I recommend both, but if you juicing is expensive.
Yeah, because the smoothie you get the fibers as well. You get the fiber
too. Yeah. So see, you already woke. Yeah, you already know.
Because my mom used to do all this stuff, bro. Like my mom, so what she would do was with the pulp that she would get from the actual juice,
put it in a smoothie.
Put it in a smoothie, or she would put it in dehydrated. Compost for the garden. She would dehydrate it. She'd compact it, dehydrate it, make little chips out of it, so it'd be like a snack.
Bro.
Yeah, bro.
And it's crazy. And this is why the scriptures say it's profitable. It's profitable for a young man to be quiet in the presence of elders and just listen. Yeah. Because when you look at our parents, right, what you just explained about your mom, the natural stuff that she just did, like, bro, it's so much wisdom in that. Yeah. It's so many nutrients that she got from that. And I look at, like, a lot of people say, well, our grandparents, our great-great-grandparents was much healthier. And I tell them all the time, look at the lifestyles they lived. Everything they ate was grass-fed organic. And it wasn't because they was trying. It's because that's the lifestyle they was living. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and a lot of that too, bro, like, not to cut you off, but a lot of that I feel like had to do with the population too, because I looked it up, bro. 1920s, the Earth's population, guess what it was in 1920s?
1920s, it probably was like 5 million. Not 5 million, 5 billion.
5 billion?
5 billion.
1 billion.
Are you serious?
1920s, 1 billion.
1 billion.
We have grown 7 times in the past 100 years.
They ain't catch India and Africa in that one.
They must have missed them, right?
Or they missed India and Africa for that.
True. India and China, because like China is up. Because China and India, they have the highest, they population, the densest population. But yeah, bro, like over the past 100 years, the world population has grown 7 times. That's insane.
It has.
It's insane.
But you know what though? I still think that there's enough food in the world to feed us all without it being genetically modified. Yeah. I just don't think we got enough people to commit to the idea. Right. And when I say commit to, I ain't talking about like these government, like for example, you got Bill Gates, he's a clown. You got Bill Gates talking about carbon emissions when your plane does more carbon emissions than my vehicle ever could. Right. Shut up. Beyond Meat, like, and then even when you look at some of those companies that he has that supposedly it's a go green company, that's not really go green, bro. Because when you look at the way the earth works, composting actually returns nutrients to the soil. So when you look at a lot of the synthetic genetically modified way of doing things, they say we need it to help the population or whatever, but you're still destroying the earth because there's no process in which you return nutrients back to the soil in that, because it's GMO. The soil didn't change. So how am I going to get these nutrients back? You know what I'm saying? But it's just a lot of stuff like that I look at and I'm like, I think the key is innovation. Like you said, the population, that's a big point.
Yeah, it's crazy because like with the increase in population, obviously you're like, okay, well now we have to, because not everybody is harvesting their own vegetables, not everybody's harvesting their own fruits, not everybody's harvesting their own meat. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the stomach to do that. But
facts.
Now you have to significantly and exponentially increase the amount of livestock that you're raising. So now you're having to do that. You're having to genetically modify food to increase productivity. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things. Yeah.
And I think that's my issue. It's my same issue with medications and vaccines. My same issue with GMO foods. I think we have the mindset trickle down effect from the top down. I think the powers that be have the mindset that we want to do these things as efficient and as cheap as possible. When that's not the answer. I spend the money you need to spend to give us the quality we need. Because I think there's a way to mass produce in quality. But I don't think they're willing to put in that work.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference.
Yeah. And plus, it's a lot of money, like you said. And money is the
I'll be honest
motive.
with you, bro. And not even to exaggerate. Because I count sometimes just to be crazy. Bro, this year in my garden, I've yielded over 2,000 tomatoes.
Damn.
Just at my house.
Did you ate all 2,000? Or do you give them like friends and family and stuff?
So, food bank, friends, family, church, and me and my sister, we can a lot too.
Okay, got you.
Dehydrated, can do whatever.
Okay.
But I said all that to say, I said to myself, if I can do 2,000 tomatoes here at the house, I know for a fact. Now it was a longer process, like you said, but I know for a fact it's very possible to do these things. And one example is True Garden in Arizona. It's an organic garden, but they grow vertical instead of horizontal. So on one, they use hydroponic water towers. Where they
and the vine for the tomatoes?
For everything.
Oh, for everything. Yeah. Okay, got you.
So like 6 feet, they'll grow 50 heads of lettuce. But it's a hydroponic water tower. I'll show you a video after the podcast. But it's fire, bro. And innovation like that lets me know, like, yes, we need innovation and ingenuity, but we need it the right way. I don't want to be in a lab growing lettuce. No, grow it the organic way. But if we don't have the space, let's take 1 acre of space like True Garden did and grow twice the amount that 10 acres could grow because we growing it vertically and it's still organic. Still organic mineral solutions in the water, still returning compost back to the earth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's fire. So that lets me know, like, innovative projects like that let me know it's possible. But like you said, I think difference of opinion is a great thing because we challenge each other. But I don't know if there's enough people in the world who will commit to that idea and say, you know what? We can mass produce organic materials. Yeah. We just got to do it the right way.
Yeah. It definitely just takes that 1 or 2 people to kind of spark that motive and actually show, results. Like, okay, because a lot of people don't want to listen or believe things unless they physically see it. Facts. So if you can produce results, you can get the support and the backing that you need. You know what I'm saying?
That's a valid point, bro.
Unless it challenges something where the money gain is too high. You know what I'm saying? Like.
And now we get into the conspiracies.
Yeah.
We do, because like you said, the money gain is too high. Like, there's an excellent book I recommend everybody in the world read. It's called Doctor and the Data.
You said Doctor and the Data?
Yeah, Doctor and the Data. And what the book covers is how in the early 1900s you had special lobbyists or pharmaceutical special interest groups said, you know what, we want to sell a product. But the best way we can sell a product is to show data that shows our product is best. So they doctored the data, and what they did was this. They paid the researchers to lie about their research findings. But the issue with that is research becomes dogma. Dogma gets put in books and it gets taught in medical schools. Doctors learn from medical schools. Right. Now doctors are believing research that was falsified from the beginning. And that's why it was called Doctor and the Data. And that's why you have 65% of Americans with a chronic illness right now today. We got the most advanced medical system in the world, but the sickest nation. And people are like, how? Because the data was doctored from the start. You had pharmaceutical companies lying about what actually was good for your body so they can continue to make the money. And I think that's when we get into the GMOs and stuff like that. You get into the data actually being doctored itself, and you get into these special interest groups that paid off researchers to lie, knowing that the NIH, the CDC, all these different prestigious places or these regulatory agencies, they're going to take their research and act like God wrote it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's scientific research. Right. But now we're getting into a scary time because now everybody's so sensitive. Opposing opinions don't stand anymore because the way the scientific method.
It's crazy, bro.
It's crazy, bro. Like,
it's crazy.
I was having a conversation with a doctor from Centera. I'm not going to say his name, but we was kind of having an opposing opinion. And I told him, I said, bro, the way the scientific method used to work is you had an idea, I had an idea, and we challenged it with a hypothesis. Now, if you have an idea, I have an idea, I offended you.
Right.
Why are you offended? Prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Show me your scientific method. But that doesn't work anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a lot of different things that goes into how we can kind of get this thing going. But like you said, I think that's why through my Instagram, I just encourage everybody, if you can grow your own food, grow your own food. If you can't, make friends with somebody who can and help them out.
Yeah.
Help them out. Barter with them. Like, bro, I'll help you work your garden for 100 tomatoes or something.
For sure. Yeah.
For real, bro.
For sure. Oh, yeah.
For real.
Okay.
Because we get into those times, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, I feel like it's important to understand at least the basics of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just in case you ever need it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you need to go off the grid or if you need to have self-preservation for whatever reason. I'm not throwing anything out there. I'm just saying for whatever reason, if you should ever need it.
I'm going to throw it out there. Y'all need that. It's getting real.
Should the government lock down the country?
Word. It's getting real.
Should there be a nuclear war and millions and millions of people dying, you no longer have the infrastructure to support, getting food by conventional means, and you have to grow it yourself. Whatever the situation may be, zombie apocalypse, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's definitely important information to know.
You want to have a skill. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, like, the beautiful thing about a body is the whole entire immune system works together. And this is the example I use. Like, I used to ask some of my clients, when I was training them, I say, what's the most important organ in the body, right? And they'd be like, the heart. I'm like, no, you're wrong. I'm like, how am I wrong? Like, the brain. Like, no, you're wrong.
Let me think about this too real quick.
I'm gonna let you answer before I.
The most important organ in the body.
Most important organ in the body.
Your kidney? It's gonna be something crazy. I already know.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. What is it?
There isn't one. And the reason I say this is because the body is a unit,
question.
right? It's a trick question. The body is a unit. So think about how the liver works. The liver is the enzyme factory.
Everything has its purpose.
So everything has its purpose.
Yeah.
So the liver actually breaks down enzymes. I assimilate these nutrients, and the nutrients that I assimilate from the liver turns into heart tissue, turns into eye tissue. So without the liver doing this thing, the heart couldn't. And think about it. When you have kidney failure, what happens when you have kidney failure?
Dialysis,
or you die. The heart.
Right.
So like certain. I'm telling you, there's not an important organ in the body. Everything is a unit. That's why when certain things break down, you even have doctors say, well, that's not true. You can take the appendix out. That's not true. Like studies actually show the appendix is the bacteria reservoir. So when you take the appendix out, that person is now bacteria deficient the rest of their life. And then you see a lot of people develop issues like Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, celiac disease, all these things because they had the appendix of their gallbladder snatched away. So it's like the body, all of these organs are important. And I tell people all the time, everything is by design when it comes to the Most High. So if the body works this way, don't you think humanity works this way too? So it's like everybody doesn't have to have the same skill. Like one of us can be a farmer. You have IT. Somebody else can have a wood shop. Somebody else can be a welder. We can rebuild society after it gets torn down. Yeah. Just if all of us realize that there's no part of the body more important than the other. Some of us got to be lawyers. Some of us got to be doctors. Somebody got to be security, big, strong. You feel me? Right. So, you know what I'm saying? And I think if we looked at it that way, and that's why I love health because it parallels everything in life. If we looked at it that way, we would humble ourselves, figure out our purpose, walk in our purpose, like me and you was talking about before the show. Well, I said show before the podcast.
I mean, it's a show.
It's a show.
Yeah.
Walk in our purpose.
Right.
And once we walk in that purpose, bro, you'll never. It's not gonna be no room for offense. You can be so focused on your purpose, nothing gonna throw you off. Yeah. Like you told me before when I asked you, I said, you got the wine bottles. I know that. And you was like, bro, I'm so focused on my purpose. I said, exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, no, exactly, bro. And it's funny that you mentioned the starting society over from scratch, you know what I'm saying, if we had to, because when we talked before the podcast, and we talked about anime and stuff like that. Have you seen Dr. Stone?
Absolutely. It's a lot of themes in that.
Bro.
Dr. Stone going crazy.
I love Dr.
First off,
Stone,
how
bro.
he remember all that? Off memory.
Plot convenience. But
no, he's nice.
But it's
I'm
fire.
Gonna tell you,
it's fire.
Shout out to Silky Johnson again, that's my brother. Bro, I was refusing to watch Dr. Stone just because I was like, I don't feel like there's enough action in it for me. My brother put me on. I said, bro, genius.
It's genius, and then there is some action in it too. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But the thing that I like about Dr. Stone is you're literally starting society over from scratch, and you're actually learning, while you're watching it, and it's actually scientifically accurate too.
They're going over the molecular structure of different things. You know what I'm saying?
It's wild, bro.
Word, and I took extra molecular biology courses just because I wanted to be aware of it. So I'm watching the joint like, oh, that's right.
Yeah. Like, oh, like the author actually did their research and actually like 100%. Consulted like chemists and physicists and all these other people that studied these things and actually implemented the anime the right way.
Facts.
So I feel like it's Bill Nye the Science Guy, but the right way.
100%. Yeah, because Bill Nye is trash.
Yeah, I was just watching that show. I was like, it's cool. Yeah, but Dr. Stone made that shit entertaining. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of interesting, bro.
It is. It's very, and that's why I said, I feel like that's somebody who understood their purpose. They're walking in their purpose, and then they made Dr. Stone.
Because like you said, every organ has a purpose. Everybody had their purpose. Like Senku, he was the brains.
Yep.
Taiju, he was the muscle.
Yep.
Yuzuri here, she was the one that did the crafting and all the handsy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Telling you, bro.
Tsukasa was the muscle. Like,
bro, walking your purpose is that simple.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, we all share purpose to a certain extent.
Right.
Like Solomon said, the whole duty of man is to fear the Most High and follow His commandments. So I feel like we all share purpose when it comes to that, because there's nothing greater I can do than serve my brother.
Yeah.
And there's nothing greater my brother can do than serve me. So we share that purpose. But there's also individual purpose that we don't share that I feel like the Most High gave us all.
Yeah.
And like you said, just like on the anime, we all work together. And there's no stepping on toes. Of course, some things were crossed, but then we just learn how to work together. But I mean, that's too much like right. So
it makes too much sense.
Makes too much sense.
And everybody in the world is so different that it's very difficult to get people on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Because and I think this partly because of all the distractions we have. You know what I'm saying? We got the TikToks, we've got, chasing women or whatever the case may be. Whatever is distracting you in life will distract you from the bigger picture. You know, what can we do to help each other? What can we do to grow together? What can we do to make society better? Because you're not worried about it. You're not focused on it. You know what I'm saying? You're distracted by all these other 100%. Things.
Overstimulated, like I said, bro. I was having a conversation with a young lady about 8 months ago. And she was asking me just a question about, I'll go say, I'm celibate, right? She was asking about celibate. She's like, how are you celibate? Why are you staying celibate, etc. And I was telling her, and she was like, well, it's hard to be celibate because I got too much access. I said, well, all of us are overstimulated. Because, like, for example, back in the day, now, Granddaddy was a Rolling Stone. My daddy won't. My grandfather was a Rolling Stone. Shout out to him. I love him, but he was wild. But back then, I'll say it was much harder to do those things. Yeah. And I also think that's why he got away with it, because you had one family in this neighborhood, but one on social media, so they never came across each other.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But no cameras everywhere and all that. Yeah.
But I said all that to say there also wasn't an overstimulation where you didn't have so many people coming into contact with people they never would have met without the technology, right?
Right.
So the technology was a blessing, but it also was a curse. Yeah. Because now I have access to people who I never would have known without technology. And some of that is a blessing, but some of that is also overstimulation. Because now I feel like the grass is always greener. If I got my partner beside me, right? They do one thing, I'm finna go on Instagram, check my DM, see what's up. Right. That's not the way to solve that, though. You need to work with what you got. Know your team. You know what I'm saying? Focus on your star player. All-star players have a bad game. But it's just one of those things. Facts. But it's just one of those things where, like I said, I was telling her that overstimulation will be our detriment one day. Like you said with the TikTok videos. Because not only will it dumb us down, it will make us ungrateful to the point where we don't recognize something real. And I think that's the point society has gotten to now. Yeah. We don't recognize authenticity anymore. Because now we're of the perception the grass is always greener. Somebody else's lifestyle looks better than mine because of Instagram. Somebody else's city looks more fun than mine. I had people say all the time, I hate living in Virginia. Bro, if you take that mindset somewhere else, you're going to hate no matter where you at.
Bro, thank you.
Bro, it doesn't matter where you are.
That's why I tell people,
you got successful people like you right in front of me, bro. You are in Virginia right now.
I've been telling people this for years, bro.
I tell people all the time, it don't matter where you from. It doesn't matter where you at. It matters about the mindset. Like, of course, environmental factors matter. I'm not saying the environment doesn't matter, because I'm from downtown Newport News and I recognize the struggles that come with that. Right. But mindset and environment makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
And then if you never change your environment, if you never affect change, how can you expect it to grow? Yeah. Because if everybody has your mindset and everybody's like, you know what, I'm tired of living in this area, forget this area, I'm gone, the area's going to stay the way it is, because nobody's coming back to affect change. Yeah. Nobody's coming back to teach. Nobody's coming back to teach them trades we was talking about. Put them community gardens in there. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I said that to say what I told the young lady was overstimulation or instant gratification is going to be our downfall. Yeah. Because we all want to be instantly gratified, because technology has given us the option to be instantly gratified. Absolutely. Word. Like, even people with porn addictions, not to take it this deep, but if like, I was listening to a podcast one day with Jordan Peterson on it. He made a great point. He was like, you know why men aren't as good at talking to women as they used to? And he was like, why? He was like, porn. He was like, what? He was like, believe it or not, psychology will teach that a man's sexual drive would actually push him in society to do other things, like increase his social ability or increase his marketability, so he can land a good woman, he can land a wife, he can do these things, or just like the innate, like the natural inclination for a man to be a man, be a provider.
Right.
But he was like, the instant gratification that comes with porn nowadays is now I can be instantly gratified. I can receive that gratification and never go out and have to find a woman to get that gratification. So now it's instant. I don't got to work for that gratification no more.
Right.
And now when I'm in front of a woman, I don't know how to act because I don't have this experience. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, bro, instant gratification is going to be the society's downfall. I'm trying to warn people right now on your show. Instant gratification will be a downfall. Be patient.
Yeah.
Be diligent.
Absolutely. 100%, man.
That's what gardening teaches, diligence.
Yeah. Yeah. Fishing too. Fishing. Yeah. Yeah. That fishing, bro.
Bro, it's
teach
big.
you some patience real quick.
Patience, bro.
But I feel like it also teaches you one, because I feel like I never appreciated when I was younger because I was so impatient. I was like, I just want to catch a fish. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
But now that I look back on it and I'm like, oh, actually, I see why people enjoy fishing now, because it's peaceful, it's quiet.
Very peaceful.
You get to self-reflect, you know what I'm saying? You get to be at peace, and then if a fish bites, okay, cool. But you learn how to be patient, you learn how to live in the moment, you learn how to take things in and how to look inward instead of outward all the time. You know what I'm saying?
And then you learn so much about the environment around you.
Right, exactly.
You learn about different type of fish, different type of feed. You learn so much just in those processes, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why I said it's a blessing. Like I said, learn a trade of some sort, any sort of trade, bro. Fishing is a trade.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
People feed nations off of fish.
Yeah. That's why the saying goes, teach a man how to fish or eat for life. You know what I'm saying? Give him a fish, he'll only eat for that one meal.
For that one day.
Yeah.
That's a fact, bro.
But and I was thinking back to the point about, Virginia's born or whatever. Like, I feel like it's like you said, it's a mindset thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are bored in Virginia, you know what I'm saying? It very well could be because Virginia doesn't have what you're looking for specifically, like whether that be a night scene. Yeah. And if you want the nightlife,
I'm gonna come out the jacket.
You good. If you want the nightlife, go up to DC. You know what I'm saying? Because DC has a nightlife. You know what I'm saying? If you want the mountains, we got the mountains. You know what I'm saying? You go out west a little bit. You got the Blue Ridge Mountains or Northwest or whatever. Yeah. You got the Blue Ridge Mountains. If you want the beach, not the best beach, but you got Yorktown. You got Virginia Beach. You know what I'm saying? You can go down to North Carolina. It's not that far. You go to
you got Myrtle Beach. You got Buckrow.
Myrtle Beach.
You got some options around here.
What's that? Nags Head in North Carolina. Yeah, you got Nags Head. You know what I'm saying?
Banks.
Like there's so much that Virginia has to offer. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, infrastructure, nature, all that stuff.
It's perspective.
Yeah,
I think Virginia I think Forbes put Virginia as one of the top 10 places to live in America because of the versatility of it.
Yeah.
I
versatility.
Wrong,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Thank you. I said I'm tripping.
You good, bro? It's been a long day.
Because of versatility, it has been a long day.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think the issue is the city life gives the instant gratification.
Yeah.
So when I'm always around things that are readily available, I'm always instantly gratified. Right. And I think that's why a lot of people who live in places like Virginia, where the access is there, but not right at your fingertips all the time, you're unsatisfied.
Right.
Because you got a taste of that access. You're like, nah, I want to go live there. But you find a lot of people, it's a lot of people in Virginia from New York.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people, when I talk to them, I can't speak for them, but I can speak for my boys. A lot of my boys I talk to, they was like, bro, that city life gets exhausting after a while. Yeah. I became down here.
I went to New York a couple times, but that was enough for me.
Same.
It's enough for me.
Same. I tell people all the time, if I want that, I will travel to Atlanta. I will travel to New York. I'll travel to Cali. I'll be out there for a little bit. I'll come back. Mm-hmm. I don't want to live. And then I'm a farm boy anyway, bro. I don't want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just like having, one, privacy, but two, like, just to have your own, like, this is just temporary where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? Ideally, I want to have like acres. You know what I'm saying?
This is
acres
a fire temporary though.
Oh, thank you. It's gonna be a rental.
It's temporary like that.
So temporary for now, and then ideally, you know what I'm saying? I want to have what I really want in a perfect world is multiple properties in multiple different locations. So if I want to be in the city, I have a high rise city apartment. You know what I'm saying?
If I want to be to the country, I can go to the country.
I got a log cabin, or I got a country house, or whatever, country ranch. You know what I'm saying? I got a beach house if I want to go to the beach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to have any type of environment that I want to be immersed in at that point in time. I want to be able to have access to that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's true freedom. And what I'll say is, when we set goals like that, I think it's very achievable, especially for somebody like you who's purpose driven. Mm-hmm. But I think sometimes we don't achieve them the way we envision it. So sometimes we get sad about that, and I wouldn't even get sad about that. I think if you achieve it in any fashion of how you achieved it, I think that was the way he was meant to achieve it.
Right. Yeah, it's not about how you start or the process even sometimes. It's about how you finish, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Because like I wouldn't expect, oh, my bad, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's like you were saying, you know, I don't feel like if you truly want something, it doesn't matter what you do to get to that point because you're going to find a way to get to that point. If you truly want it that bad, if it's truly meant to be, you will get to that point.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like what I'm doing now, what I'm building now, that's me, my bad.
I know
But what I'm building now with the reaction channel, I never expected the reaction channel to be as successful as it was.
To go crazy like that.
To go crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? I never expected that, but now that's helping me get to where I'm trying to be. You know what I'm saying? I never envisioned that though.
Yeah.
But it just came along. I was like, okay, fuck it, we gonna do it.
Send me that so I can subscribe.
I got
I'm
you,
subscribed to the podcast, but not the reaction channel.
I got you, bro, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna watch that too.
I appreciate that, bro. Thank you.
I mean, because why not? Like I ain't trying to be funny, but like for example, shout out to all the rappers I'm probably about to name. But like I was telling one of my boys the other day, I was like, Lil Durk and them, like, bro, they don't know you exist, right? There's no disrespect, but
no facts.
Like y'all go hard and support them. I'm talking about to the point where y'all might comment under his post like, "Happy birthday, Durk." Like, bro, not gonna see your comment, no disrespect.
Right.
But you got your boy who's a content creator. I'll use your example. You got CEO Sherm. He a content creator. Why not support him with that same energy? Bro, you put time and effort to liking Lil Durk's birthday post. He don't know you breathe air.
That's facts.
But your bro is trying to make it. Put that same time and effort into liking his. It takes 30 more seconds. And that's my perspective when it comes to supporting local artists or just supporting anybody local doing something positive. Yeah. If your bro on some BS, kick it to the side.
Right.
We got to get back to shaming too. Facts. We got to.
Because people don't hold people accountable.
We be letting some wild activity slide in our community. We got to get back to shaming immediately. I'm going to go shame somebody tonight. We gotta get back.
I'm going on a shame spree. As soon as I leave
I'm going to shame and spree right now. We got to get back to it, bro, because I'm telling you.
I'm going for all my boys.
And I'm not saying to the point where we making people wild out, commit suicide, nothing like that.
Right.
I'm saying we got to get back to hold people accountable.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of wild activity happening right now in the community in the name of whatever my plight is, and that's not the case, bro.
Right.
Y'all just want attention. We got to get back to holding people accountable because, like, I feel like the reason I feel like part of the reason people are so reluctant to support their friends who are content creators or artists is because they're so overstimulated already with a lot of the wild stuff that's out here already.
Yeah.
There's a lot of doctors who meant to be saving lives and they out here rapping. And I mean, and I'm one to talk. I work in health and make music, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like there's a lot of people who, like you said in the beginning, we never identified our purpose, so we fish around until we find the purpose, and that's fine. That's your path, but I know for a fact, if you had people around you to hold you accountable, you would get to that destination much quicker, or at least much smoother.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Less bumps on the road because you have less distractions.
Less distractions.
Because now because a lot of times we do things and we're not aware of what we're doing until someone from outside is like, hey, bro, you know you tripping, right?
100%. And I was finna tell you, accountability brings self-awareness. Like you said, if I might not be aware I'm wilding right now. And like you said, until my bro coming to me like, bro, you are on some other type of time right now. And I'm like, how? Then once he give me a different perspective, like I said earlier, it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I ain't consider that. Now I've considered my ways.
Correct.
Now we back at square one.
Full circle.
You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Now I've considered my ways. I'm telling you, bro, it's that simple, but we make it so complex.
Yeah, no, that's such is life, but yeah. Facts. So and let's circle back to music before we wrap up, man. Of course. Two Goats, was that your first album?
So first album was Thank You For Your Time.
Thank You For Your Time. Okay. Yeah. And then Two Goats came after that.
Two
okay.
Goats.
So Thank You For Your Time. That was the one.
Levi.
Yeah, R.I.P. Levi, man. Is it Levi?
Yeah, Levi. Yeah.
Levi. Okay, yeah. So we got Thank Me Now, correct?
Yeah. Thank You For Your Time.
Thank You For Your Time. I don't know why. Thank You For Your Time.
Shout out to Drake.
That was Drake. I just heard thank you, and I was like,
hey, look, Drake, I need to feature Drake for real. That's Drake. You know what I'm saying? Drake, you a career starter. You feel me?
No, he really is though.
Word.
He really is.
I need to. Yeah. I don't even need to feature. I just need you to let me put your name by the song.
So thank you for the time, correct?
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Your time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it right the fifth time.
No, you good. And I'll explain why I named it that. So my perspective coming out the gate was I've known I've been a musician my whole life.
Yeah.
I've known I felt like because of my struggles, like my uncle's murder, my family medical issues, my sister, shout out to her. The very last song is about my sister. It's called Chosen Children Freestyle.
Okay.
If you listen to that, you hear some of the stuff she's went through. But with her cystic fibrosis situation. I mean, just like little stuff like that. Like I'm just to share some of her story, bro. Doctors gave her death sentences multiple times. She wasn't supposed to make it to 8, wasn't supposed to make it to 14, wasn't supposed to make it to 21. Now she's 29.
Wow.
But cystic fibrosis is a terminal illness that affects the lungs. It's a gene mutation.
Yeah.
Some speculate that it's caused by vaccination. I kind of agree, but I'm not going to get into that. But it's a gene mutation that affects the bronchial tubes in the lungs, and then affects the way the body assimilates nutrients and digestive enzymes. So you can imagine that if the body can't assimilate nutrients properly, a lot of issues take place.
Right.
And if the lungs can't expand the way they're supposed to, a lot of issues take place because the lungs are the biggest organ in the immune system. Not the most important, but the biggest. So
right.
You feel me? So
right.
I'm just being funny, but you good?
yeah.
But I said all that to say and anybody with asthma who understands how asthma works, you know, there's an overproduction of mucus with asthma too, and the body is usually severely dehydrated with asthma. So you have this liquid that the lungs make called surfactant. It's like WD-40. It's real smooth. You want that. If the body is dehydrated, or if water doesn't get to the lungs the way it should, the lungs will turn to mucus. Mucus is much thicker. It's much harder to work through. So I said all that to say there's a lot of components that go into the illness. She's been through a lot, but I said all that to say she's been one of my motivations. And when you look at Thank You for Your Time, the album, I felt like I had a lot to say, but nobody knew that. So in my mind, I was like, by the end of the album, they'll hear everything I said. I talked about the student loans. I talked about the thief and police. I talked about police brutality. I talked about the black community, black on black crime. I talked about, I even talked about truth of the scriptures and how scriptures talk about how black people are the chosen Israelites according to the Bible. I talked about all that on that album. But I felt like I had to tell people thank you for their time.
Yeah.
Because at the time, who was I? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, who am I that you're going to actually give me your time and listen to this?
So the fact that you listen, thank you.
The fact that you listen, I appreciate that. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
And that's how I came up with that name.
Okay. I like that.
Because I talked about so much, and there was a lot of people who hit me up afterwards, and they was like, yo, this is fire. And I was like, well, thank you for your time. Because I appreciate that.
Nice title plug.
yeah. It's on all platforms. Thank you for your time.
That's fire. Okay. And then Two Ghosts. What was the inspiration behind that?
Thank you for your time. So that kind of put me and my boys in position to say, you know what? If Thank You for Your Time had legs of its own, we can drop something else and it can be relevant. My bro Levi, who passed away now, rest in peace to Levi, he ended up having a heart transplant some years before. And he was, at this time, he was having complications with his heart transplant. So
was it rejecting the organ or?
Yeah, well, his body was kind of rejecting. But this is a lot to explain, but Levi has a heart condition. Levi has a spinal condition he was born with called arthrogryposis, I believe. And there's a very severe disformity with the spine. When you look at the nervous system, the way the nervous system works is nerve supply and blood supply regulate organ function. So what that means is if there's a physical distortion, that can create an autonomic dysfunction. And the best way I can explain that is like, for example, when you see people who are hunched over like that, with issues like that, a lot of times they'll have tachycardia or heart palpitations or breathing problems. And the reason that is because the sinoatrial node or the blood or the nerve supply to the heart is in the middle back. If that doesn't get the proper stimulation, blood supply, and nerve supply, or if that is disformed, now you have compromised that organ function too, because the nerve supply connects to that organ function.
Right.
And
so now it has to take probably an alternative route to get there, which is probably longer and
yes and no. It's like,
or it's just completely closed off.
So what happens is there's two nerve supplies to everything. You got a sympathetic and parasympathetic. Okay. Parasympathetic is rest, digest, repair. That's when your body is resting, digesting, or repairing. And then sympathetic is fight or flight. Okay. That's the fight or flight nerve supply. What happens is if parasympathetic nerve supply is compromised, the body is going to depend on fight or flight. But the body can only be in a fight or flight state, but for so long. Now, the body uses both states for certain situations. Like, for example, if I'm playing a game of football, I need my fight or flight. Right. If I'm running from a tiger, jumping over a fence from police or something, I need my fight or flight. That's smart. If I'm trying to go down and lay down and go to sleep and rest, I need my parasympathetic. So what happens is when that parasympathetic nerve supply is compromised, the body can only be in sympathetic, but for so long before it says, I've had enough. Right. So not that I'm diagnosing how my bro passed away, but I'm going to tell you, knowing what I know about health, bro, his death hurt me so bad. Trust me, I got deep into it. I had to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But knowing all this, of course, we did all we could to hold bro down. But I think the Most High had a different plan.
Right.
And I think it was prophetic that we had to complete the album because bro came to me in 2020, bro, and he was like, bro, sometimes I don't feel like I have long left. And he was a poet his whole life, a fire poet, by the way. Best poet I ever heard. It was like for everything he lacked physically with his disability, I wouldn't even say he lacked it, but for everything Levi didn't show others physically because of his disability, bro, his pen made up for it. It was ridiculous. And you can hear that on Two Goals right now, bro. But he came to me in 2020 and was like, bro, he had just got out of the hospital. He was there for like 2 weeks for his body kind of rejecting his heart. And I want to say he had his heart for 3 or 4 years at that time. 3 years at that time. 4 years. And he came to me and was like, bro, I don't feel like I have long left. And, you know, I'm a musician. I want to put something on record for my family. Bro, the first song we recorded for him was a song called If I Die. And it messed me up because being the song we played at his funeral, it messed me up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I said all that to say, he was out the hospital for 3 days. So we created a SoundCloud mixtape called Two Ghosts in 3 days. And what it was is just two goats making music in 3 days. And it was 5 songs that we put together. And it really was just him telling some of his story. And after that, we kind of got song happy and was like, if we did 5 songs in 3 days and it has over 500,000 plays on SoundCloud, not only can I release Thank You For Your Time, but we can do another joint album where you really can tell your story, bro.
Right.
So that's when the idea for Two Ghosts 2 came. And we completed Two Ghosts 2 7 months before he passed away. So we completed it August 2021.
Yeah.
He passed away January 2022.
Wow.
And
that was recent. Wow. Yeah.
Bro, very recent. And it's still difficult, but
naturally,
I'm grateful for his inclination to come to me and say, bro, we got to get this music out. Like for somebody to tell you, you know, you don't have long left, and for him to tell me that 2 years ago, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, nigga, bro, stop. Like, we gonna pray against that. I'm like, bro, I know all I know about health. You gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna be straight. We gonna make this work. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I guess the Most High put it in him that he had a different plan. He was like, you know, his mission is gonna be complete soon. He got to come home with me, and you gonna still have to complete that mission. But it was a different kind of it's a different kind of feeling now listening to the album.
Yeah. Sure.
Because we had a lot of fun when we made Two Ghosts, and you can hear it in some of the songs. But now it's like I hear parts of his verses that I was there when he wrote it and he recorded it. But now I'm like, yo, you really knew something.
Yeah.
The way you was talking, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, how did I miss that? Like, even on this whole song, If I Die, the way he laid the song out, like there's a part where he says, now let me down and sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray my brothers console my mom and give her peace. It's like stuff like that. Like, and now me and my boys, we have dinner with his mom once a month. But it's just like little stuff like that where you think somebody just writing because it's artistic expression. And sometimes it could be like the Holy Spirit of the Most High speaking through you. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Art is that serious. It's crazy, bro. Like, art is that serious. And that really changed my whole perspective of music. And that's why I said, you know what, bro? A lot of people like, bro, you haven't dropped all year. And I know Levi passed away. I'm like, bro, I can't drop this year. I got to live with Two Ghosts for a while. Yeah. I have to, bro. And a lot of people like, well, Two Ghosts came out August 2021. It's been over a year. You're not going to drop? I'm like, not yet, bro. I got to live with the album for a while. Now, I will say, I have started to work on some things. Yeah. But I think the music that I released now was not that it's going to have more purpose than the music it had before. I think if you listen to it, there's a lot of, like you said, it's very conscious. It's a lot of purpose. But I think the music I'm going to release now is going to have so much more purpose, bro. It's going to be more driven because tomorrow ain't promised. Yeah, and absolutely. I think that's the angle I'm taking now. Like, I knew that before, but now I realize it. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, bro. Okay. I gotta consider my ways and help people consider theirs. Yeah, absolutely. That's the purpose with the music, bro. I gotta consider my own and help people consider theirs, or at least plant the seed for them to hear something and consider their ways. And prayerfully, we both will meet back on that road to Christ and be like, hey, bro. Yeah. And I mean, there's a few situations like that. There's a brother right now, shout out to Josh, who came across the music hit me up on Instagram. Now he part of the church. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
So that's dope, like you said. But it's still even beyond that, just trying to reach people, because I can't be the only one going through pain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Word. So I know you go through stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody does. Yeah,
everybody does.
Man. Yeah.
So why not have something for somebody to at least grab onto?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because we all share those similar tears and we have those similar fears. But I'm rambling, but I hope I answered the question.
No, you good. Yeah, you did for sure, bro. For sure.
Word,
I appreciate
bro.
that. I appreciate that, man.
Word, bro.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, and that's why I'm so big on therapy, is because a lot of people don't really, like, you know, obviously physical health is very important, it's paramount, but mental health is also important too, because if your mental health goes, everything else is going to fall, you know, physically. You know what I'm saying? Like your body's going to start shutting down because you can't even function properly. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people, bro, get some therapy, deal with your issues. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't have issues, you feel like you don't have issues, I promise you, go to therapy, you're going to realize, oh, damn, I didn't know I had that going on. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, like, and I tell people all the time is, we know we all got our preference, but we need it. Get some version of therapy, Christian therapy, whatever. Get some version of it, and deal with those demons and beat those generational curses the right way, bro.
Absolutely.
Like and this is something that I think I tweeted this the other day. Like you, and I'm talking to whoever listening. You could be the solution to generations of pain, hurt, anger, and curses in your family. You could be that solution. All you got to do is consider your ways, seek the help you need, and implement the change.
Yeah, it just takes one.
Is that something you can break all those curses, bro?
Yeah,
there's a lot of. I mean, bro, I believe in Christ. I'll say Israelite, but Christian, pre-Constantine Christianity. The only difference is that my belief is I believe in Christ. I believe He died for our sins. But the biggest difference in my belief is that the minorities around the earth, I'm talking about not just black people in America, I'm talking about anybody who had anything to do with that African diaspora who was on that transatlantic slave trade. So that's your people in the islands. Yep. That's everybody who had anything to do.
As Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, as much as they want to say they're not black, no, they how you think they got on that island?
You got dropped off, bro. You was dropped off.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, there's Puerto Ricans, there's Dominicans, there's people in Haiti, there's people in Australia, there's people in UK. Anybody around the world who had anything to do with that transatlantic slave trade. My personal belief is that that's biblical prophecy according to Deuteronomy 28. You are the Israelites according to the Bible. And there's millions of scriptures to back that up. Millions, but it's hundreds of scriptures.
No, I got you. Yeah.
Hundreds of scriptures to back that up.
Right.
But I said all that to say, with that being my belief, of course my belief is shaped through the scriptures. So but my thing is Christ taught in love though. So if I don't agree with somebody's lifestyle, I'm not gonna come at them in all types of prejudice or whatever. How am I gonna reach them that way? Right. And then even if they don't agree with me, so be it. Be at peace. Right. Why am I hating on bro or sister or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Because if my true belief is that this is the truth, then the truth is gonna prevail regardless. Live my lifestyle in the way that the truth is gonna show. And of course you can't avoid offending people. I ain't saying be sensitive. I'm just saying be respectful. Yeah,
and I feel like being offended is very much a choice. Depending on what it is. Like if I blatantly come out and say something disrespectful to you, you should feel offended. Of course. But if I say something that is unintentionally, perhaps out of ignorance, but if I say something to you that's unintentionally not meant to be taken to man, like if I say, if I address a woman as a female, for example, you know what I'm saying? Some people get offended by that. Yeah. When I'm simply describing a gender, a sex, I will literally say a male to describe a man. You know what I'm saying? It's the same. I don't have any prejudice or anything like that. Now, if I say female and address you as such, then you should be offended.
Now,
you know what I'm saying?
Now I'm being disrespectful.
Correct.
But like you said, I'm not, because I tell people all the time, even the Bible say male and female, He made them. So, you know what I'm saying? Like man and woman.
Yeah, I think it's about the tonality of what you're saying, like the tone that you speak and the intention behind your words.
That's what I was about to say. It's about the delivery. It's about
that's when the offense should be now, warranted or not.
Facts. And there's certain things where there's teachable moments, because there's something where my intention can be good, but my delivery can still be offensive. Yeah. But it's all about teaching somebody. Because a lot of, like I said, the Bible says you err because you lack knowledge. So I think a lot of people, we lack knowledge in certain situations, or we destroy it for a lack of knowledge. So if I offended you in any way, I feel like you're the type of person where you would come to me out of love and be like, look, bro, this is what you did that's offensive. This is a better option. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like on a rah-rah type of time, or like crazy, like look, you have a conversation, be like, look, this is what it is. And you decide what you want to do with that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And if you decide, okay, well, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, like, okay, cool, that's
All right,
fine.
cool.
I probably won't, continue dealing with you, but that's fine. You know what I'm saying? You do what you want to do, and
100%.
I'll go my way or whatever.
100%.
But it shouldn't be a shouting match back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be anything like that.
And that's back to the conversation we was having earlier about relationships and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was telling you, like, were we too old? Like, you said, I'm dating to marry.
Yeah.
At any woman, bro, listen, if I'm serious with a woman, I see you as my future wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is what it is. I'm so constituted in that it's not even funny.
we too old, bro. Like,
We too old.
We too old to be sitting here playing
Facts.
21 questions. What's your favorite color? All this other
bro,
BS. Like,
listen,
nah, bro. Like, nah.
We talk about some deep stuff. You celebrate Christmas? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to ask some hard questions. You believe in vaccines?
Mm-hmm.
I need to ask some hard questions because
Right.
my thing is, Christ said two can't be together unless they agree. And I'm not even at the age. I'm in the mindset of I got a kingdom to build.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I'm so focused on my purpose, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
So I need a woman that's gonna be my helpmate, like Eve was for Adam, and add to this purpose.
Right. Let's build together.
Let's build together.
Mm-hmm.
You let me know what you believe your purpose is. We gonna make this thing work.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you what the Most High gave me, and we gonna and then the scripture's gonna tell us what He gave us both, and we gonna You feel me? We gonna make that. We gonna make it work.
Yes, sir.
But that's why I said this generation, all this instant gratification. You got people with commitment issues because they don't want to let go of the instant gratification, but they deep down saying, well, I'm really just working on me. I ain't got to that point yet.
Mm-hmm.
No, you selfish and you don't want to be committed because you still like the gratification you get from attention.
Right.
Tell the truth.
No.
But
You
it's
talking to
fine.
him. You
It's
talking to
fine.
him.
Yeah, but tell the truth. But I said all that to say I respect the honesty, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody is upfront or at least if somebody shows me who they are, no reason to have a shouting match back and forth.
Yeah.
If you ain't ready for commitment and I am, it's fine.
Yeah, just be open about your intentions.
It's good.
Just be upfront with it.
2 up, 2 down, 10 toes to the ground. I need to worry about it. I'm gonna go ahead and make this move. Because like you said, I'm gonna find somebody who gonna match my energy.
Right.
And I'm gonna find somebody who gonna match my ferventness when it comes to serving Christ or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or even whatever my mission is. Like you said, you're gonna find somebody who match this, bro, for real. Because you're a man who deserve it. You're gonna find somebody who worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that, bro. Yeah,
And
for sure.
I'm telling you, bro. I know I'm talking a lot, but like it's
No, you good.
it's real, bro. Like I tell people all the time, the scripture say when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. Understand what that means. One, when you found her, she was already wife material. You ain't find a project. You find a wife.
Right.
And I'm not saying if a woman needs work, she's not a wife. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because we all need work. None of us are what we need to be.
Yeah, none of us is the full put together package at that
Facts.
time when you meet them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the difference between this man and other men is that this man understands what a good thing is. So this man is going to treat you like a good thing from day one to day whenever. And he's going to address you like a good thing, and he's going to build with you like a good thing.
Right.
Those other men, they didn't realize they found a wife. They didn't see a good thing. Same thing for that woman. When that woman finds a husband, she finds a leader, she finds a man of the Most High, whatever, she going to treat you like that. It's going to be
Yeah.
that level of respect. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's going to be that level.
Yeah, a lot of people just have superficial understandings of what they
Facts.
want out of a relationship, what they want out of a man, out of a woman.
Facts.
You know, women will say, okay, the man has to have this, that, and the third, and he has to have all these other things. However, what are you bringing to the table? You know what I'm saying? If you're just bringing your body, that's not enough.
It's
You
not
know what
enough.
I'm saying? Because you're expecting more of a body from a male than you are providing. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And it's for males too. You know what I'm saying? Males are like, okay, well, she had to have this, that, and the third, but okay, well, what do you have to offer? You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
100%.
What's your income like? Are you able to provide? Are you able to protect? You know?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. And this is, and I told my boy this. He got mad at me, but he gonna see this, and he gonna see him talking about him. Just he was having an issue in his relationship, and I said, bro, don't ask the question, what can a woman do for you? I said, be him, be Prince Charming. Like you looking for a prince, you're looking for a queen. Be the king. Be Prince Charming, bro. Be the thing that you say you're looking for, and I guarantee you're gonna attract what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You looking for a rational woman, be rational. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for a hardworking woman, be hardworking. You're looking for a emotionally and intelligent woman, be self-aware.
Yeah.
Be accountable. You know what I'm saying? Be respectful. And I guarantee 9 times out of 10 you're gonna find that. And not even that, you're gonna have options. You might find multiple women like that. And I ain't saying be a hoe. What I'm saying is
Right. No.
the most high gonna bless. You're gonna be able to be like, oh wow, this is a blessing.
The harvest is bountiful.
because there's a
Yeah.
lot of good women out here. There's a lot of good men out here too.
Right.
And I hear brothers and sisters on Instagram all the time complaining about what the accessibility they have. Bro, you got 1,000 followers. It's a good man somewhere in there. You just ain't found them because you're not being that yourself. You're not gonna come across him because when you posting that ratchet stuff on your story, good bro is scrolling past. He not sliding up on that. You know what I'm saying? And same thing for the brother. You in a club throwing whatever every weekend, doing whatever. Sister's scrolling past that. She's not sliding up on that, bro. Like, but think about it.
Or
bro.
she might, but that's gonna be the wrong one. That's the one you don't want to attract.
That's the one you don't.
Yeah. So.
And now we back at consider your ways. Once again.
Yes, sir. All right, man.
Thanks,
cool.
bro. I'm done, bro. I'm talking.
No, you good, man. I mean, we covered a lot, man. We went in a lot of places, man. I feel like, the viewers definitely gonna get a lot from this interview. You know what I'm saying? A lot of knowledge imparted as well. So, do you have anything you want to add on concluding though, bro?
I don't know. I mean, in conclusion, bro, I just want to give a shout out to you, give you your flowers where I got the opportunity.
I appreciate
Just something
that,
else I learned from Levi Death, bro. I mean, we gave each other our flowers. When I look back, I ain't give them enough. And I think there's not too many people who are self-motivated and driven in their purpose. You know what I'm saying? You one of them. So I want to show you, bro. Keep going, bro. And like I tell everybody, just like consider your ways, put the Most High first, and allow Him to direct your path. I'm trying to do the same thing, bro. And I feel like as long as we all do that, we gonna meet somewhere on the path. We're gonna serve the Father regardless together. So that's the goal. That's the goal. Like I said, greatest thing we can do is serve our brethren. So I'm just trying to figure out how to go platinum too at the same time.
Yeah. I like it. Okay, I like it. And,
yeah, bro.
And where can people find you at on social media?
Social media is at Aundre Raashad. It's not spelled like regular Andre. It's AUNDRE RAASHAD.
Not Aaron Raashad.
Not Aaron Raashad. You probably gonna edit that out. They ain't gonna see that. but it's at Aundre Raashad on everything. And the easiest way, honestly, no flex. Just type my name into Google. All my social medias come up. Knowledge Panel come up with all the streaming information. So if you type it in, you'll get Spotify, Apple Music, everything, and then you'll get my Instagram and everything too. Fire. So just type in Aundre Raashad to Google, and it'll come up. Okay.
Well, no, this has been a dope interview, man. Enlightening. I learned a lot today.
Same. Likewise, bro.
No, I definitely,
Likewise.
like I said, I love doing interviews like that where I learn and I'm able to pass that knowledge on to other people too, because they can listen and they can get that knowledge as well.
Facts.
Yeah. So once again, thank you, bro. I appreciate you for the opportunity, man.
Bless you, bro. For real.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all go ahead and follow him on all social media platforms. Make sure y'all go ahead and run his streams up on all social media platforms as well. He's on Apple. He's on Spotify. He's on YouTube. Correct? Yeah, he's everywhere. So make sure y'all go ahead and support this brother, man.
Yes, sir.
And once again, bro, best wishes to you, man. Best wishes to you in the health journey. Best wishes in the musical journey.
Yes, sir.
And it's nothing but up from here, brother. So definitely appreciate you.
Likewise, best wishes in everything, bro. You got your hands in a lot of IT stuff too.
Trying to.
Yeah.
Trying to stay well rounded.
Yeah. I'm gonna learn from you.
I got you, bro. This will be up. All right, y'all. Junction out.